How's it going there, everybody? It's Mr. Zen over here bringing you guys a brand new Dr. Stone chapter discussion. And for today's segment, guys, we're going to be talking about is chapter 3 all the way down to chapter 13 from the recent chapter that just came out, folks. And honestly, holy cow, I just caught up, folks. And honestly, this manga is very undermined, folks. This manga itself really, guys, honestly, it captivated me from the first two chapters. Honestly, I am still shocked as to why aren't there many anime YouTubers out there that are actually even considering talking about the series, due to the fact that the way that the story and plot direction is actually going forward, it's that amazing, honestly, guys. I put it on terms of The Walking Dead. I feel like this manga is literally the anime version of The Walking Dead, but without the zombies. It's the reason I'm saying that's because the fact that the way that the characters interact with each other, the way that they're having these problems and events that unfold with them is not necessarily that it's similar to The Walking Dead. It's the way the characters progress forward is in a similar fashion of The Walking Dead. Because think about it, in The Walking Dead, they're living in a post-apocalyptic world, and yet they're faced with the sheer amount of zombies and death and different types of people that would actually hinder them to actually rebuild civilization itself. But Dr. Stone does the same exact thing, but without the zombies, as you can say. It's more or less to say that it's the characters themselves that are actually having a very huge trial and error in actually trying to rebuild civilization, but because of the way that's actually the way the characters are intermingling with each other is actually causing them to actually get sidetracked, and that's what's actually causing us viewers to actually, I would say, be more enticed and actually watch, because you actually want to know what's going on with each and every single character and how they're actually going to continue on through the manga itself. That honestly, I personally think that it makes it very, very interesting, folks. Like honestly, like I said, I'm comparing this to The Walking Dead. Like this manga also could actually be one of the, you could say, one of the rising popular mangas if this manga actually continues. Like honestly, this manga just deserves more popularity, folks. No freaking joke, it really does. But let's actually talk about chapter 3 all the way down to 13, guys. As we actually see, like from the previous chapter, that we see Seiju and Taiju, they were actually, you could say they were actually in a very dire situation that they actually needed to be rescued. So they actually rescued this like high school bully of some sorts. He was like the toughest guy in the class, and it was Tsukasa, if I remember correctly. And this character, folks, this character is basically the main antagonist from chapter 3 all the way down to chapter 13, folks. Like honestly, this character was the pivotal point that the manga actually started just boosting itself up in the way that the characters were interacting with each other, because the way that of Tsukasa's actual idealistic goals in this brand new world, this Stonehenge world, guys. That honestly, it makes sense why the main characters Senku and Taiju fear this character, because not only necessarily that Tsukasa is actually very, very prominent in actually in fighting, it's necessary to say that he's not as dumb-witted as Taiju is. He made this character is not as smart as Senku himself, but he's more of the balance between these two characters that makes him a very formidable opponent in this brand new world. And honestly, just seeing this character interact with Senku and Taiju just made this manga just that amazing, honestly, folks. And it's funny because Senku's character development throughout the whole entire way just kept rising and rising and rising. And without Senku himself, folks, honestly, Taiju and Yasuhira, they really wouldn't be able to, they actually wouldn't even be surviving in this place without Senku himself. Senku, this manga literally was like from chapter 3 all the way to 13 was literally Senku versus Tsukasa. It was a battle of wits as to who's gonna get the upper hand itself. And that's what's making it interesting. Now, of course, once Yasuhira was actually revived, Taiju, of course, was back to being as prominent in with himself. Oh, let me express my love, etc., etc. But that's all just gets sidetracked because of the fact that Tsukasa's character involvement with Senku is still there. It just overshadows that kind of way. Like I see more Taiju and Yasuhira's as more along to say as like a side plot, like a mini side plot, you could say. But regardless, though, Senku versus Tsukasa, very, very interesting, folks. It's very interesting, like no freaking joke. Now, the chapters does continue with we noticed that Senku is actually building civilization. Like, remember how I was comparing with these two guys? The difference with Tsukasa and Senku is that Senku wants to build civilization from scratch. He wants to go back to the world how it was. He's here for the people. Now, you could say that Tsukasa is very different from Senku. Tsukasa is actually more along the lines as he's more against like a democratic world. He's more actually seeing it as a very dictatorship kind of world. That's the way I kind of see him, because the fact that Tsukasa does not want the grown-ups to be alive anymore. He's not accepting them as the actual, true owners of this world, as this is a brand new world that, that these kids, that they can actually survive and actually create a brand new system. That's what I'm seeing in Tsukasa. He's got like this superiority complex that actually Senku is actually aware of, that he's actually afraid of at the same time too, because it actually makes him do these kind of brash decisions. Because later in the chapter we learn that freaking Tsukasa is actually a murderer. He was destroying like a lot of these stone people without no probable cause. That you're here wondering like, what the heck, Of course, Senku and Taiju now then, of course, are actually then on the defensive. Now, what I kind of love the fact is that once Senku and Taiju learned of this character, they were on the defensive as the chapters were progressing, folks. The thing that's what actually makes it very interesting also is the fact that we see that they really were not really planning on staying with Tsukasa. They really were planning on ditching it. They just really needed him was just to get out of that situation. But from there, they wanted to do their own thing. But because of Tsukasa actually noticing that Senku is a very smart person and knows how to revive people, he wants to actually use Senku, as you could kind of say. He wants to use it for his own ambitions to recreate the world. Now, honestly, it's hilarious as to seeing how all these four characters interact with each other, that I'm kind of noticing that Senku, as a pivotal character, I'm noticing that he's done so much, guys, on all these chapters. And then as the chapters progress, we see that then Taiju then gets a more prominent role, as he actually then faces off against Tsukasa himself. And it was weird because you could say the main character Taiju kind of has that kind of Goku-esque personality, where I don't want to fight you if there's no real reason to. We see that interaction with, and you see, of course, Tsukasa laughing at that statement, because the fact, like, I don't get what you want me to do, so you don't want me to hurt your friends, but you want me to hurt you, but at the same time, like it was like, basically it was kind of like not really making any sense during that little stalemate that they were kind of, that I thought that I get what Taiju's trying to do. Like, he just doesn't want no violence in this brand new world. With any violence, of course, they can actually then focus on what's real at hand, and that, like I said, is the rebuild of the civilization. That I'm kind of wondering that, like I said, what's going on? Where are other people that are actually alive in the civilization when these characters are just like the minor role? Because after this stalemate, of course, they leave Tsukasa. Then the chapters, they keep progressing and progressing, folks. They keep progressing, and then of course we get to learn that Senku figured out how to use conch shells, or the seashells, in 4 uses. And that is, I believe, one was like fertilizer for the soil, to actually, I believe that's what we use it for. Second was for soap, for hygiene, and I believe the third was what was the last one? I believe it's to create like cement or clay of some sort, so they can actually build bowls and mortar items. That's what I kind of like was kind of interested. But there was one item that Senku did not mention, and that is gunpowder, folks. If you mix it with gunpowder, then he is able to use it to actually create an actual weapon against Tsukasa. Like I said, Tsukasa being involved is actually just driving the plot forward and forward, and all these characters are just intermingling with each other and trying to make the best of it. But like I said, the overall aspect of the whole entire universe that's around here, it's still in a shrouded mystery, because then we see the characters actually continue traversing away from their original post that they were at the whole entire time, and they go towards mountains. They see a giant Buddhist statue as like a way for them to like get rekindled, like to know where exactly balance there. But the thing is the fact that is when they start learning how to do the gunpowder. Think about it. Having a gun in this brand new world really would make a person formidable. Because remember, Tsukasa has very body strength, and he's a very prominent fighter. So Senku is thinking ahead. He's thinking, so in order to take this guy down, instead of manpower, let's just take him down with a weapon. Something that he is actually able to fear itself. And that is what I thought was very freaking interesting. Now then, the chapters continue on, and we see that later on they create a fire. And remember, guys, how I said that the manga is actually continuing where they're slowly teasing us that there are other humans involved that are actually alive as well. And it seems that we were hinted in one of the chapters that there are, I believe it's like a woman of some sort, like in tribal clothes, and they were like throwing smoke signals. That in itself made it freaking interesting, folks, because I want to know what if there really are other tribes. What exactly were they doing during this whole time? And Senku itself, like I said, these kids, they're just living in a bubble right now, and they don't know what's out there. That the adults themselves could actually have already colonized and actually figured out what to do, while Senku is just he's just going at this step by step, which I thought was very interesting. Now, what happens is the manga does a giant plot twist, folks, that gives us slaps to us many readers for this manga, and that is Tsukasa comes in and basically kills Senku. Yes, folks. Because remember, these two characters, they're actually having a very pivotal argument against each other. They're wondering, I was wondering what's gonna happen is, did Senku actually accept his fate in this brand new world, that he won't run away? That I thought to myself, that dialogue between these two characters was just that intense. Senku was living for the science, living for everybody. He's there for everybody. He wants to rebuild a nation again. But because Tsukasa's idealistic goals of having a dictatorship world destroys Senku, politics, folks, freaking politics right there. Senku goes out like a man, saving not only Taiju and Yuzahira and Tsukasa, because of the fact that he sees that he'd rather save other people rather than have nobody saved. And I thought it was a very touching moment having Senku actually gone, because then it makes us viewers wonder what's gonna happen to Taiju and Yuzahira. Where are they gonna go? Are they gonna go where the smoke signals are at, where these other tribal members that are alive? Or are they gonna just randomly find people? Or are they just gonna live out their own thing? No, then the author does another plot twist, and that is we get Senku's own arc, his own flashback arc, to see how he began his life when he came out of the shell. And honestly, Senku really is one of my favorite characters, guys. Without Senku in the manga, I'm wondering how far it will go without him. That's what I'm wondering. If the author decides to kill Senku permanently, it makes you wonder, just what else will happen. Will they bring another smart character involved in the later chapters, or are they gonna actually just bring about Tsukasa in and actually formulate a brand new plan? Like I said, it makes us wonder what the heck is gonna happen. Like I said, and when we actually witness the flashback arc, we just wonder, wow, guys, Senku did a lot by himself. He was just regulating everything. He was trying to do everything trial and error, from making axes, making rope, clothes. Honestly, seeing Senku's own arc develop as the brand new arc that's coming in after chapter 13, I am actually excited, folks. I am, because I want to know what else Senku's gonna bring to the table. What else did he actually uncover while Taiju and Yuzahira were actually still asleep in their permanent rock state? That's what I'm kind of hoping for. But that's it for today's semi, guys. Like I said, this chapters is just that amazing. Honestly, I am proud of what this manga is doing. I love the touch of scientific realism involved in the manga itself, that it's actually making us viewers wonder, like, oh, okay, you know, you can do this. Oh, if you combine sulfur with, like, you know, it's just that these little things that will make children or viewers more interested in knowing, like, okay, a little touch of science involved in it will make it make more science more interesting in a sense, you could say, for like, you know, for the younger generation, you could say. But let me know down in the comments as to what are you guys' thoughts on Dr. Stone itself, folks. And I'm loving the fact that also when we actually learned about the 4 uses of the conch cells, was that like a reference to why the manga is called Dr. Stone? Because Senku, I'm telling you, Senku is the freaking main character. Without him, this manga is nothing, folks. I'm telling you, I do not want this main character Senku to die. Honestly, I was just shocked when he practically died, guys. But like I said, let me know down in the comments as to what are you guys' thoughts on Senku's character development. What are you guys' thoughts on what's gonna happen with Taiju and Yuzuri's actual involvement in the actual lore of Dr. Stone and Tsukasa as well, guys. What are you guys' thoughts on Tsukasa actually being involved as staying as the main antagonist, or do you guys think he's gonna actually become a protagonist later as the chapters continue? And also, what do you guys think that Senku's gonna involve himself more with the lore of Dr. Stone? Like I said, this guy, he's breaking the walls in this manga. He's breaking. I'm honestly rooting for Senku to not die, guys. But like I said, let me know down in the comments. And as always, guys, if you guys enjoy my content, don't forget to give a like, comment, share, and subscribe for more Dr. Stone chapter discussions. And as always, guys, see you guys again in the next video. But peace.